Hello YouTube, we are on the Real Programming channel. It's about HTML and CSS. My name is Andrei, it is 46th lesson and we'll talk about how web fonts work. With web fonts, you can take advantage of new capability of modern browsers that allows you to deliver new fonts directly to your users. Once the font is delivered, the browser can then make use of the web font just like it can any other font, and you can even style your text with CSS. Let's look at how web fonts work in a little more detail. Here's your server, and here's a font file you stored on your server. The font file contains everything a browser needs to use the font in your web page. Notice this font uses a .wav file extension, which means web open font format. Of course, your server stores all your HTML and CSS too, but we are not showing that here. First, to make use of web page fonts, the browser first retrieves an HTML page that references them. 2. The browser then retrieves the web page files needed for the page. This page uses web fonts. I better retrieve the font I needed. Looks like a hit crazy font. 3. Now with the font retrieved, the browser uses the font when it displays the page. Look, Mark, a new font, finally something new around here. There are no doubt questions. What's the WOF, or Web Open Font Format? WOF is emerging as the standard font format for web fonts, and you'll see it supported today across all modern browsers. That said, there has previously been some lack of standardization in this area, with different browsers supporting different font formats. If you need to provide web fonts to browsers that may not support WOF, you'll need to supply one or more of view formats that are available as alternatives. The web font hosting services can help a lot here. So to use a web font, I have to host the font files on the server. If you just testing fonts, you can actually store and refer to them as local files in your own file system, just like you do with, say, an image. But if you want to deliver fonts to your users on the web, you rather have to host the files yourself on the server, or make use of hosting service such as Google's, which is free. If I use a web font, can I then count on it being there for my users? As long as they have a modern browser and discounting any network connectivity or server issues, for the most part, yes. However, if they are using old browsers or mobile devices that don't yet support web fonts, all bets are off and you still need to supply font alternatives. We'll see how in a sec. How to add a web font to your page. So you got a special font you want to add to your page. Let's step through how to do that using web fonts and the font face rule in CSS. Step 1. Find a font. Okay, find a font. If you don't have a font like Tony does, you'll want to visit the many sites out there that have both free and licensed fonts you can use in your pages. Check out the appendix for more information. We're going to use Tony's suggestion, Emblema 1, which is free font. Step 2. Make sure you have all the formats of the font you need. Here's the good news on web fonts. The at font face CSS rule is pretty much a standard across modern browsers. Here's the bad news. The actual format used to store the fonts isn't quite yet a standard. Also, we're getting there. And in effect, there are several different formats at the time of writing supported across the browsers to varying degrees. Here are common formats and their respective file extensions. True type fonts .ttf. True type on one type fonts are closely related. One open type fonts OTF is built on top of TrueTop and is never than TrueTop. Embedded open type fonts .pot is a compact format of open type. It's proprietary Microsoft and supported only on Internet Explorer. SVG fonts .svg scalable vector graphics, or SVG, is a general purpose graphics format, and SVG fonts use this format to represent characters. Web Open Font format .woff is based on TrueType and is being developed as a standard for web fonts. It's well supported on most modern browsers. The best supported format across most modern browsers is the Web Open Font format, so that's the one we recommend you use. You can offer an alternative for older browsers will use TrueType, as that well supported across all browsers too, except Internet Explorer. Step 3. Place your font files on the web. You want to place your font files on the web so they are accessible to your users' browsers, or you can use one of the many font services coming online that will host these files for you. In either case, you'll need the URL of your font files. Here are Tony files, which we placed on wikidlysmart.com. Step 4. Add the add font face property to your CSS. You got the URLs for the .woff and .ttf versions of the font named Emblema1, so now you're ready to add font face rule to your journal CSS file. Add the rule to the top of the file above the body rule. Let's start the rule with add font face. Unlike a normal rule that selects a set of elements and assigns style, the add font face rule sets up a font which is assigned to a font family name for later use. In the add font face rule, we create a name for our font using the font family property. You can use any name you want, but it is best usually to just match the font name, like Emblema1. SRC, the property tells the browser where to get the font. We need to specify a SRC value for every file the browser might recognize. In your case, we are going to supply both the .woff and .ttf types recognized by today's browsers. The add font face rule tells the browser to load the font files at the SRC URLs. Browsers will attempt to load each SRC file until it finds and that it can support. Once loaded, the font is assigned to the name you specify in the font family property, in this case, Emblema1. Now, let's take that font and see how we can use it in the style of the page. Hint, you already know how to do this. Step 5. Use the font family name in your CSS. Once you loaded a font into the browser with the add font face rule, you can use the font by referencing the name you gave it with the font family property. Let's change the font of the H1 hidden in Tony's page to use the Emblema1 font. To do that, we'll add a rule for H1 like this. We specify the name of the font just like normal, only this time it's a font we loaded using add font face, and just in case something goes wrong, we specify sans serif as a fallback. Step 6. Load the page. That's it, you're ready to test your font. Reload Tony's journal page and check out the next page to see what we got. Test drive the web font in Tony's journal. When you reload Journal HTML, you should see the H1 headings at the top of the page. Use the emblem one. Not bad for just a few lines of CSS. Now the H1 heading at the top of John Tony's journal page is using font emblem one. Watch it. TTF and VWOFF font formats don't work in Internet Explorer 8 and earlier. If you want to support users with older Internet Explorer browsers, you'll need to do it a bit more work with the fonts and to use an AOT font. There are no dumb questions. Adjusting font sizes. And we'll talk about this in the next lesson, and this is our 46th lesson is over. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel please, like, share with friends, comment, eat bananas, chocolate and nuts, drink more water for the effective work of our brains. Bye!